Hello beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a what's for dinner. I know it's been a hot minute since I made one of these, but I have some really tasty recipes for you guys today. If you are new, hi, my name is Andrea. Thank you so much for stopping by today. I hope you will consider hitting that red subscribe button before you leave and joining my family here on YouTube. But let's go ahead and jump into the first recipe. So on the first night, I decided to make Crockpot chicken tortilla soup. This recipe is super duper easy. You're gonna start off with 2 chicken bouillon cubes. You can also use chicken broth or chicken stock, it doesn't really matter. And then you're just gonna add in the water as per the instructions. So I'm using 2 bouillon cubes, so I'm gonna add in 4 cups of water total. Next, you're gonna go in and add your chicken breast. I'm just using 2 chicken breasts because I think that's enough for our family, but you can use more or less depending on what you have. Next, you're gonna add in a can of black beans, drained but not rinsed. Then you're gonna add in half a jar of salsa. I'm just using the chunky style salsa, but you can use whatever kind you like. And then you're gonna go in and add 2 cups of corn. You can use canned corn, but I'm just using frozen corn because that's what I had on hand. Next, you're gonna go in and add a tablespoon of your favorite taco seasoning. I didn't get to film that, but that's what you're gonna need to do. And then you're just gonna stir everything together, and you're gonna cook this on low for 6 to 8 hours. And this is what it will look like after you cook it all the way through. I did top this with some shredded cheese and also some of these tricolored tortilla strips. This recipe is so delicious and so easy, and I really recommend it. The next night, I decided to make Greek chicken. This recipe was so good and super easy as well. You're just gonna take some chicken breast, depending on how big your family size is. You're gonna take some of this Greek salad dressing, and you're just going to pour that right on top of the chicken. It's just kind of an eyeballing thing. I just coated the chicken with it. And then next, you're gonna chop up some tomatoes. I'm using just like the cherry tomatoes. And as you can see here, I'm using this nice little Halloween plate. I'm trying to get rid of them because they're just lingering around my house. So I'm using it as my cutting board today. But you're gonna use probably 10 to 20 tomatoes and just kind of chop them into halves and add them directly to the top of the chicken. Next, you're going to need some pepperoncinis, and you're just going to gut out the seeds and just make them into little slices. Again, just spreading them all over the chicken. I think I ended up using about 5 of these peppers, but since it does have a little bit of kick to it, you can add these at your own preference. Next, you are going to take some feta cheese and you're just going to sprinkle that right on top. I think I ended up using a little over half of this container, or right at half this container. And of course, I had to taste a little bit just to make sure it was good. And then you're just going to make sure your oven is preheated to 375, and you're going to cook this for about 30 minutes. And here is the finished product. This smelt divine. I served this over a bed of white rice, and I paired it with some long green beans. And this was what's for dinner, and it was so good. Highly recommend. So on this night, I decided to switch up an old favorite. I'm making sweet potato shepherd's pie. Typically, I just use regular potatoes for shepherd's pie, but I wanted to try something a little bit different. So I'm just going to dice up 2 sweet potatoes and boil them in some water till they are soft. I'm also going to be browning up some ground turkey for this recipe. You could definitely use whatever ground meat you prefer, beef, chicken, whatever. I'm just using turkey because that's what I like and that's what I had on hand. So once your turkey is all browned up, you're going to add it to a mixing bowl so you can add your spices. So I'm gonna add 2 teaspoons of minced garlic. I'm also gonna go in and add a dash or 2 of Worcestershire sauce. And then I'm gonna go in and add some of this Italian seasoning. I'm just eyeballing it. And then you're gonna need some pepper. And then you're just gonna combine all of the spices with the ground turkey just to make sure everything is evenly distributed. Next, you're gonna take your pie dish and just spray it with some cooking spray and add the turkey mixture to the bottom of the pan. And then by this point, your sweet potatoes should be nice and tender, so you're going to season them and mash them up for the top of the shepherd's pie. So I'm just using a good old-fashioned potato masher, and then I'm gonna use a little bit of sea salt and about a teaspoon and a half of chili powder. And then you're just gonna mix and mash until it is a nice fluffy consistency. Next, you're going to go in and add about a tablespoon of coconut oil. This is just to give it a little bit of a different flavor since it is sweet potato and you want it to be a little bit sweeter. So I'm adding this instead of like butter or milk or something like that you would add to your traditional shepherd's pie. And then I'm just going to continue mashing until it's a nice, smooth, creamy consistency. Now you are going to take your sweet potato mixture and you are going to add it to the top of the ground turkey mixture, and then you're just gonna spread it out and smooth it out until the potatoes cover all of the meat. And you are gonna pop this in the oven and bake on 425 for about 15 to 25 minutes, just depending on your oven. And here is the finished product. This was so tasty. I just love the combination of the chili powder and the sweet potato and the ground turkey. It was definitely something different, but it was delicious and everyone in the household enjoyed it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. You guys' support means the absolute world to me, and I honestly cannot thank each and every one of you enough. But if you are new, make sure you hit that subscribe button before you leave, and thanks for being my kind of weird. Bye!